Warning, these strategies might look dark and manipulative, so as viewers' discretion is advised. If you do this, you will go straight to hell. And y'all can't talk to God about me during Judgment Day, okay? Because this is just for one thing and one thing only. It's only for defensive purposes. So I'm gonna show you how to mind fuck someone as a way to defend yourself from mind fuckers, right? It's almost like teaching martial arts, right? You're not gonna tell someone who's teaching boxing that you teach people how to kill, right? So these strategies are meant to help you understand how people manipulate you so that then you can use it as a defense mechanism, okay? So with that being said, don't forget we're having 50% off all of our courses using the coupon code BLACK and 20% off working with me one-on-one using the coupon code BLACK. We could talk about that towards the end of the video, okay? So the first thing is this, okay? And this is kind of fucked up, okay? Again, I say this because this is what people do when they try to fuck with you. And if you let them do this to you, you're gonna get fucked over. And so here it is, right? The first thing they do is that they are inconsistent from the start. Meaning that they're testing out whether or not you are willing to tolerate inconsistency. I gotta put some chopstick. People call me ashy lips. Whether or not you're willing to tolerate inconsistencies. And the reason why is because if they're inconsistent, meaning they take a long time to text back, right? They take a long time to text. Even seeing you, they see you once every 1 or 2 weeks, right? This inconsistency is testing your self-esteem, right? By you being inconsistent, if they leave you, then that means they're not the ones you can mind fuck. Only those with low self-esteem will tolerate inconsistent behavior. So that's the first thing you do, or what they'll do to you. They'll first be inconsistent to test out your self-esteem. Generally speaking, if I was you, just walk away. For example, like if I meet someone and they're busy a lot, I just don't want to talk to you. I'll be honest with you. I want someone who has time. So anytime I see that it takes 1 or 2 weeks just to go on a date with you, get the fuck out of here. Who am I talking to? The ambassador of the United Nations? We ain't doing that shit, man. We're not doing that. So inconsistency, you do that to test out their self-esteem. It's kind of crazy, but it's true, right? Once they've passed, I mean, this guy needs help, right? Once they've passed your test, then you could go on to the next one, which is finding. Let me just put it right here, man. Finding their. And for all the people saying I suck at my handwriting is ugly, shut up. My handwriting is better. Finding their weak spot. You got to be able to know how a person's weak spot, not just to manipulate, but also in sales, right? I know the weak spots of my audience, and so I create videos to cater to that. You got to know a person's weak spot so that you can cater to it for the positive, which is you might know they want physical touch, and so you give it to them. But then some people want to know the weak spots to manipulate you. How do you find that out? It's very easy. Ask them about their parents. If they come from a single parent household, which I prefer, because if you date a guy or a girl who comes from a single mom, for example, the guy is much easier to manipulate by female charm. Because they were raised by a mother, and most likely the mother said fuck men, right? It's almost like they have an over empathy towards the opposite sex, right? So you want to find, sounds crazy, like you want to look for gang affiliation type of like profile. No dad, not a lot of friends. Why? Because then they have a hunger for family, a hunger for a sense of belonging. And when you have a hunger for a sense of belonging, when you offer them any sense of familiarity, they'll come to you. You gotta understand, right? Robert Greene says the most important thing, and it sounds evil, but choose the right victim. Now, in this victim is a metaphor. It's really meant to be provocative, the way he phrased that, but it's pretty much who you're choosing to seduce, right? Because they have to surrender to your seduction, right? You got to choose people who have time, energy, who's not that preoccupied, who wants people to be around them. You can't use this on someone who's fulfilled, because what will happen is that their self-esteem will rise and push you away, right? So that's why it's important to have self-esteem. And what do you mean self-esteem? Well, anything that makes you happy, that's not a relationship. And that's why you have to develop self-esteem from within, from without yourself, through developing a meditation practice. Learn to find happiness in your senses. People, like, if you never meditated consistently, you have no idea the sense of peace you feel inside on a daily basis. Like what I feel consistently, I could never trade that for anything in the world. The peace, the freaking vibrations that you feel from the meditations, and the compassion that you feel is a feeling that that you never want to give up for anything else, right? So you want to develop your own ecosystem of positive emotion. By the way, if you guys enjoy my video, I'm actually an art teacher. So if you guys want to ever learn how to paint realistically like this, you guys can book an art class with me in New York City. I would teach anyone how to paint like this in under 1 week. Years of work, years of training you'll do in 1 week. You paint. This was a student that never painted before. I give my classes. I'm starting off. The first student is going to be $1,000 for 1 week, one-on-one classes, and you'll learn how to paint like this in 1 week, or your money back. So if you're interested, the link is in the description down below. Classes start at around $1,000 for 1 week of one-on-one classes, and you'll learn realism or your money back. My email is in the description down below. And you develop that through a meditation practice, right? So remember, find their weak spots, right? Maybe another way to find their weak spots is to literally find out about their exes. What did they tolerate, right? Did they tolerate a man hitting them? Did they tolerate a woman screaming at them? Did they tolerate a person not consistently being there? Or maybe they told you how their ex, they got annoyed because maybe they were always late, or they were always they were too busy. That tells you those are the things that they'll tolerate if you do. Like asking them about what did their exes do. I swear to God, I feel like a dark energy around me right now. I don't know what it is, right? I feel like a dark cloud. It's crazy. Why do I hear boss music, right? So you ask them about I think God is like causing my brain to like stop talking right now. But you find out what they tolerated from their ex. You find out what they tolerated from their parents. You find out what they hate about their parents. You find out what they rebelled against. All of those things tell you about a person's psyche, right? Or for example, what are the things that they tolerate with you? What are the things that they tolerate with other people? You could get that information by just having casual conversations. Or like, for example, like, if their parents are narcissistic and they're not narcissistic, your key to get them to love you is for you to be narcissistic, right? If their parents are not narcissistic, then don't be narcissistic, because that might cause them to push you away. But find out a person's weak spot. Everyone has a weak spot. And one of the ways you find out a weak spot is that you just find out their front. What's their front? If they're hyper masculine, they lack feminine care. They lack a woman's feminine touch. If they're hyper feminine, I can promise you they'll fall in love with a woman who has a lot of masculine energy. You got to find out what is it that they present to the world and assume the opposite is their weakness. For example, if they're highly controlling, if there's someone who love to control people, most likely they can't control their emotions. So if you rebel against them or don't do what they say, and pull away, you'll notice that they start panicking and they get more aggressive, they start crying, they pull away, they show more emotions. Now, the next thing you want to do is hot and cold, right? Hot and cold. And this means in every sense of the way. That means you're present, but then you're absent. You're physically touching one day, but then you're physically distant. You're talkative one day, but the next day you don't talk much. You see them a lot 1 week, but then the next week you don't, with a proper excuse, right? All of those things naturally splits people up inside because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense why you're acting so hot and cold one day, and then the next day you were consistent, right? The reason why is because you got to make sure they can't predict you, right? The reason why is because people respect what they can't predict. Now, this will cause a lack of intimacy. But then again, why the fuck you clicked on this video, right? Another example is canceling last minute, making sure that he can't predict when you're coming. Like making sure that he cannot predict whether or not you're gonna be there on the date. They can't even tell their friends whether or not you're gonna come on that date because you're so unpredictable. Unpredictability is great for creating charisma, but it's bad for intimacy, right? And then above all, I'm not gonna go. Actually, I'm gonna stop here because the next thing, just like I may get a fucking subpoena to go to New York City to see a judge because that's some evil shit, right? But one more thing that I would suggest is in your nonverbal cues, right? You want to from time to time express emotions through your nonverbal cues, right? Oh Lord, this person's broken, right? But then sometimes the next day you don't show a lot of emotions through your nonverbal cues, where one day you're happy, the next day you're sad. Or sometimes what you want to do is criticize the person for something genuine. For example, if they really insulted you one day, for example, a lot of the times if you're a nice person, you hold it in. Give them a genuine criticism based on something real and be harsh, but then the next day act completely normal and nice. All of those things fucks with people. But I can promise you, people will resent you if you do this. People will attack you. People will try to get revenge on you. And the way that you know that you're fucking up is because they will retaliate. They will, once they gain some power, once they feel confident enough, they'll find a way to do the same shit you did to them. And so that's why you're playing with fire. You don't want this motherfucker on your back. This dude will come back to you and get you, all right? Anyways, this is Alex from hell, straight from hell. If you guys want to work with me one-on-one, click on the description down below. Check out our new courses, The Feminine Woman, which is like a self-help course for women to embrace their feminine, to increase your self-esteem, to become more integrated, to integrate your masculine and the feminine, and above all, to make people respect you, right? In the workplace and in relationships. And check out all the other courses, Psychological Game of Attraction for women who are single, Natural Chemistry for women who are in relationships, Emotional Mastery for women who want to develop more emotional strength. Or you can purchase them all using the coupon code BLACK, and you can get 50% off on top of the discount of the bonuses, okay? Do that now or else, oh, I'm sorry, closing the channel, I'm so